Hey friends, that 80s dude here, and I am in an existential crisis right now with my collection. And I'm sure that anyone who is around my age, in their 40s, late 40s, maybe even early 50s, you've probably come to the conclusion that maybe it's time to offload a few things here and there. And let me tell you, this is a very difficult stage to come to in life. And for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is that some of these things I've had since my childhood, and it is extremely difficult to think about letting any of them go. So what I wanted to do in this video is just show you some of the things that I'm thinking about giving other people an opportunity to own in their life or recollect because they might be in a different stage of their life. And then also kind of let you know what I'm going to do beyond that and why I'm doing this. Okay, so let's get going. All right, so now obviously in a single video, I cannot possibly show you every single toy that I own in my collection, pull everything out of storage, and also share that with you. But if you go back to some of the videos I've had in the past, you might get a glimpse of some of the other items that I've had on display over the last couple of years since I started my channel. But I'll give you kind of a look at and kind of see what I have sitting on my shelves right now. And I've got a few things. I mean, I've got some things up here as well. I've been doing a little bit of organizing or reorganizing, and also in my where all my VHS tapes are and things like that. And I've got some of these like newer, more modern things like the Funko Pops and things like that, and some Legos. But what I did want to do is just sort of share with you the stuff I have on the shelf, because I think that stuff is pretty important and everything has a story. And just kind of give you a method to my madness and where I'm at and what I will keep that might be up here. But the bottom line, you guys, is what I've come to realize during this whole, I guess, what I like to call the existential crisis, is that my kids, they don't care about my toys necessarily. My younger ones do. They obviously want to play with these toys, but they don't have any attachment to them. And I'm certainly not going to, give them like the Brave Star toys to play with, and they're vintage toys. Someone else who grew up during my time may want these, may need to add these to their collection because they need to fill, one or two of these toys. And so for me, it doesn't necessarily feel right to just let my kids, my younger kids, just take these and start playing with them, and essentially losing the accessories and things like that. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to I'm going to place a lot of these in boxes. Things that I want to keep, I'm going to keep, obviously, and just kind of store away. But everything else, and I would say probably 80% of this, what you see here, is going to be put up for auction or sale or something like that. And so the other thing, too, is like I want to try to taper down the collection so I can keep and grow the collection around certain featured collectibles. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's walk you over here. And so Sideshow Collectibles sent me this Doc Brown, and this is a one of their more like deluxe editions. But just take a look at the intricacies of this and how cool it is just to display. And what I thought to myself was, maybe it's time. I've had this one for a long time, this Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars. And what I've decided is to build maybe the shelf around some of these more intricate, more detailed, and larger toys. And so Sideshow obviously makes a lot of really good ones. And so also there's a lot of other makers like Super 7 and things like that. And they make some pretty cool ones too. Like the larger scale Thundercats, for example, that they make. But that being said, let me walk you through the shelf and just kind of show you what I'm probably going to end up keeping, because that might be easier. There's going to be fewer of that. But certainly, let's start up here with the Thundercats. I'm going to keep my Thunder Tank because that thing is just, to me, it's really priceless to me. It's an original inbox. It's got the treads, everything like that. That's not going away. And I think I'm going to keep my Thundercats figures because I just love them, and they're very, very difficult to get, and they display really well. They're actually much larger than most of these smaller figures. And you see Panthro back here. yeah, the Thundercats. I'm going to have a Thundercats section for sure. It's one of my favorite cartoons. I should say, it is my favorite '80s cartoon simply because I really, if you read my book Nostalgia Nation, the definitive guide to growing up Gen X, I talk about the Thundercats. And by the way, here's a little shameless drop there. But I talk about the Thundercats because, I'm a first generation immigrant, and I really kind of felt a great connection to their story. And so I've been collecting Thundercats for a very long time. Here's an original Thundercats lunchbox. That's definitely going to stay. Um, and, I thought about my WWF wrestling characters. I've got one here. I've got another one here. I've got a few that are in storage. And I think those are going to go. They're in excellent condition, but I think those are definitely going to go. Anything that's been like sent to me, like the High C when they were doing the promo, things like that, I don't necessarily have like a huge connection to, so I'm going to go ahead and put those up for auction. The Masters of the Universe lunchbox is definitely staying in the collection. I think these vintage lunchboxes are just fantastic. They're a great piece of history, so I don't think I'm going to let go of them. And I'm kind of having a crisis with Teddy Ruxpin because these are getting harder and harder to find in this condition. But that may end up going. I don't really have a need for that. And some of these like knickknacks and little things like that, like these vintage alien things and some of the smaller toys, some of the McDonald's stuff and Burger King that I have in storage. I've got so many of those. Those are probably all going to go. The Brave Star stuff's going to go because I loved Brave Star as a kid, but I just don't have the full collection. I don't have enough of them to feel like I can justify just keeping them on the shelf. This is going to go. This is from 1998, I believe. This is a Madman. You saw a short that I posted the other day about it. And this is from Wizard exclusive that you had to mail away for. That's definitely going to go. Some of these more modern remakes of the Transformers are also going to go, like Soundwave back there. You see them. And you got Starscream. And all these GoBots, they're going to go because I kind of can't even remember how I got the GoBots, to be honest with you. It's gotten to that point. So I think those are all going to go. And obviously you see Panthro there. He's staying. I've got a few 90s toys box, especially from Batman the Animated Series. And I'm really thought about keeping those, but I think I'm going to go ahead and let them go. And they're boxed up and everything. They're ready to be photographed and sent out. And I've got a lot of inquiries about the Batman stuff, so I think those are going to go. Some of these Legos I'm just going to give to my kids and let them display. And again, some of these, as you can see, some of these areas are empty. That's because I've already gotten rid of some of the toys in the collection. Yeah, the Thundercats are staying, obviously. And I've got a few modern toys here and there that I'm going to get rid of as well. That's a original Simon from the 80s. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a lot of the board games and the just the game stuff. I don't need it anymore. It just sits there on display. And I'll take you down here. Some of the snacks, the vintage snacks and cans and things like that, I'm going to end up keeping just because they were super nostalgic and they're pretty easy to store for me and display. But I'm going to start with, I think, the toys. I've got a lot of different things I collect, obviously, like vintage books and comics and, physical media, things like that. I've got vintage TV sets. I've got tons of games. But the toys are definitely going to be the first to go, I think, just because it's going to clear out a lot of space for other things. There's a G.I. I'm probably going to keep the G.I. Joe box. I have a few of them. I'm going to go ahead and keep those. I have a lot of vintage cereal boxes. I may end up selling those just because I photographed them and I've already documented the vintage cereal boxes. That's a Batman from '89. And here on this side, you'll see I've got a lot of like 90s Hot Wheels and different like Matchbox and Hot Wheel, movie memorabilia and things like that they released. These are kind of popular. They've been very popular lately for collecting. So you can see there's the Jaws, there's Magnum PI, Mork and Mindy, Top Gun, and Mission Impossible. And then I've got these carded figures that I think I'm going to probably get rid of as well, or sell off to somebody who will appreciate or add them to their collection. I've got some Super 7, a few Super 7 things here that I got, and some G.I. Joe on cards as well, and some Gremlins stuff here too. And here's a 90s Spider-Man with Pump Up Kayak Spidey. All right. I've got like some 90s Spawn toys, original Spawn toys. I don't know what I'm going to do with the glasses, but I may end up keeping a few of these just because I still use them actually. I think the Funkos I keep, and the designed by robots or handmade by robots figures, except for some of the ones that I've gotten as gifts from family members. I think these are all, I already have the boxes. These are all going to go. And I'm going to do something else with this area. And then I've gotten some things that have been sent to me by different companies for, for promotions and things like that. And I think those are probably going to be wrapped up and gone. And I really think it's time. It is. And I'm in my late 40s. I am sort of finding it difficult to constantly configure the shelves and things like that with different toys. And honestly, my often out in the seams of how much stuff that I have that's in storage. The other day I was going through my comic books and I was just thinking to myself, I couldn't even remember that I had some of these books. And I'm like, why is this stuff locked up in a coffin in storage? No one's appreciating it, not even me, because I don't really have the space or the time to kind of go through all the stuff. Or obviously this stuff's just sitting in my studio. I could always get up, and when I'm doing something, I can look at the toys and they bring me some joy and some good memories. But they just sit here. And I don't know if you've gone through that yet, or if you've considered that. You could be at a stage like that now, you guys. And I don't blame you for thinking like that. It's like, sure, it's my display behind me, and when I'm doing videos, it's nice to have all this stuff, but I have so much stuff, I can really redo this in a different way. And for me, right now, toys are super hot, right? Especially younger adults are recollecting a lot of toys, or even getting into vintage toys that we had as kids back in the 80s and 90s. So why not give them a shot to add this to their collection? This is the way I see it. So you guys, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? How have you gone through this? Have you had this crisis before? How did you navigate it? Did you do this in parts? Did you hold a garage sale or go to a flea market and sell off a lot of these things? I've got a feeling that if I took these out to the flea market, I probably would not be happy with how much I sold them for. I mean, not that I'm trying to make, buco bucks here, but I would like to, I think some of these things have a lot of value, but I would like to at least make a little bit of that back so I can maybe reinvest it in storage. One of the things I have been, before I finish this video, that I have been doing lately is I've been investing in much better storage items. Like for my comics, for example, I ended up buying these BCW boxes. I'll kind of show you over here, and putting a lot of the books that I want to keep in my collection here in these boxes. So as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of these. These are just 3 that you see here, but I'm going to be changing all of these out into the BCW hard short boxes, and just kind of redoing everything as far as my storage goes, including, and you guys don't see this in this studio, but including my baseball card collection, because I've got a huge trading card collection. So I've been investing in these card bins, so I can actually move away from those cardboard boxes that we had back in the day that we would store our baseball cards in. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Things like this. So this one's in really good condition. I think, I'm going to keep this one just in case. But yeah, I'm moving away from all that and really trying to take the storage part of my collecting more seriously. Like I've done here, you can see I've put a lot of cards in these things. And that's been working out really well, because then I discovered a lot of cards that I forgot that I had. But yeah, guys, I think it's time. I know it's going to take time. And I've even thought about putting this stuff on my IG and just doing like an auction kind of thing on there. But we'll see. I'm still at the early stages of it. But I think I am going to, hate to say it, sell a lot of my toys. And it makes me a little bit sad, but at the same time, it also makes me a little bit excited about the future and what I'm going to have up here to display and share with you guys. Anyway, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like and that you subscribe. You do all those things. Just a reminder, I post a video every Sunday by noon usually. And it's about collectibles, the collecting hobby, whether it's comics, baseball cards, toys, things like that, and things that I discover out in the wild. And then just cultural stuff, what's happening, like what's out there in the, happening in pop culture and things like that. But anyway, I appreciate all of you that have been following me for a while. And obviously, I've been far more consistent lately, posting stuff every Sunday, sometimes twice a week, and just building the community out here on YouTube. And if you're not following me on Instagram at that 80s dude, please make sure you drop in there. I post a lot of nostalgic stuff on there as well. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for watching and stay rad.